Welcome back, YouTube, with Many Reasons here today, and we're in Columbus, Georgia, and we're meeting with Radiant Real Estate Services today. We have wonderful guests on for y'all today. Actually, the ones who are over it today. And can I get y'all names?
Yes, Taylor Nicole River.
And I am Delois D. Marsh.
Ooh, so now today we're gonna pass it to our boy Sean, and he's gonna get us into the first question, all right?
Hey, how you guys doing today? So, my first question for you guys is, what inspired the launch of Radiant Real Estate Services, and what other services do y'all offer to the community?
Okay, I'll take the first half of it. So what inspired the launch of Radiant, we started out as me, just an individual agent. And then Taylor and I met, and Taylor became my assistant in real estate. Well, we met, you were my client at first.
Wow.
Yeah.
YouTube, that's how you lock in right there.
So she was my client, and we really just, hit it off. And then she became my assistant. Then she became an agent.
Wow.
And we started a team.
Okay.
So we grew our team really well in Columbus, in Alabama. We were all in Atlanta. And then I said, well, let's make it a brokerage.
Right.
So we came together for the brokerage as well, and we both own this company.
That's awesome.
That's fine.
That's awesome. There's not a lot of times you hear client turns into awesome.
Talk about that or that.
Right. That is awesome. Okay. With Radiant being such a unique name, what made you pick Radiant? Why Radiant?
Because it shines. It's light. It is not just that. We have biblical inspiration for Radiant as well. So it's Proverbs 34 and 5. And it says, those who look to him are radiant, and their faces are never covered with shame. And so we take that in everything that we do. We are a faith-based company, and we truly believe that with God being in the mix, you can't go wrong.
Yes. I'm not going to go in tongues. I'm sorry, that one. I know I got more questions, but how much has faith played into you starting a brokerage? How much has faith impacted your business?
Faith has been such an integral part, not just with me individually. Like I said, we had a team, and those clients that I met along the way. I truly believe that they come back today because it was something about not just me, but the God shining through me that they saw and they could tap in with and have that in their journey. So it plays every day. Before we have a meeting, we're going to have prayer. That's just
how it should be.
Yes. Awesome. To God be the glory.
I would just say I'm a witness of that since I was a client. And just seeing how she operated her business. I mean, because if it would have been on the other end of the stick, coming in as an assistant would have probably looked a little different. And then coming in as a partner would have looked a little different. I probably would have had some hesitation. But knowing how she was with me as a client, how engaged she was, how personable she was, and then of course the faith shining through, I was sold.
You sold.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It really is
awesome. My God, to God be the glory for sure. Can you tell us about some services that make you guys stand out from other brokerages in the area or in general? What makes you guys special?
Absolutely. So we offer the traditional services, so buying and selling for commercial as well, commercial clients. However, we also offer transaction brokerage services. So that looks a little bit like drawing up your paperwork, and it goes from consulting at $100 an hour to the full transaction services. So paperwork from the top that you sign as a client. I'm sorry, yes, as a client, all the way to close. So that you don't have to worry about it. But if you're not looking for any representation specifically, then we just do that paperwork for you. Another service that we offer is advertising services. So if you have a rental by any chance, but you also want to manage that process on your own, we'll just get that exposure for you. So you'll sign on with us. We'll go ahead and put it on the MLS so that it gets maximum exposure, and then you'll kind of take the process from there. We'll just make sure that it gets what it needs. The highlight that it needs.
Wow. Okay. That's awesome. That is awesome. And another one is, with faith being such a strong thing, how did you cultivate that? How did you make sure that was ingrained in your business? No matter what your business was going to do, even though you're doing real estate, no matter what your services were, how did you make sure that you cultivated faith and made sure that this was going to be the lifeblood, the DNA of this business?
So, just a small bit of history. I am retired from the Army.
Congrats. Thank you for your service.
Absolutely. And I only mention that because I have been through so much in life.
Mm-hmm.
It was only by the grace of God that I could be here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that's number one, just knowing and identifying and acknowledging that that's what's brought me here today.
Mm-hmm.
But also, it's been surrounding myself with people who had that like mind. Taylor, as a client, I was like, oh Lord, you can't let her go anywhere. You just absolutely cannot.
Mm-hmm.
And having that like-mindedness, but also that spiritual sisterhood. In our team that we have multiple women on the team. At the company now is all women.
Okay.
It's not to say that we don't want any men here. That's just what God has allowed for right now.
Yeah.
So that's how it became ingrained. I'm a processes person. I am, just by the book really. I like to have something in place that we can check off, and know that we're in line with federal as well as state regulations and statutes. But also translating that over to the spiritual side, just making sure that that's all just intact the way it needs to be.
In order. In order. That's also, it's like, and as I might be getting this one wrong, but it's as you're being, not Deborah, but Esther, helping, doing the things that you need to do, making sure that everything is in order, making sure that the work is done the way that it's supposed to be done. Because you already have your Boaz. But making sure that the work is done in order and integrity. So that is beautiful. That is beautiful. So you guys said that you were first a client. What made you want to start your own entrepreneurial venture?
So when I left active duty Army, I didn't want to work for anybody else. That was just it. You have to show up every day at the right time, the right place, in a uniform, in the military uniform. I like making sure that I'm showing up in the right time, at the right time, in the right place, and in the uniform that you need to be in. I just wanted to translate that to my time, my place, my uniform, what that looks like for me. And so that's why I went ahead and started my own company.
So yeah, that's awesome. Guys, you got anything?
What you got, campus? Because I know you're over there pondering a little bit. I mean, when you hear about it in the story and how they wove God into the beginning and the origins of it, I mean, you really got to be astounded at it because, like, she went from taking orders to now not giving them, but like blessing the people, like giving back. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's phenomenal. But now, y'all are. What are we trying to say? Help me out.
What, like now they're prospering now.
Yes, yeah.
They're prospering now, whereas in those seasons where, thank you.
There you
in
go.
those seasons where it wasn't prospering, you were just getting the ground, when you was building the foundation, how did you make sure that your faith stayed just as strong building the foundation as it to now you're in the season of prosperity, you're in the season of reaping all the things that you have sown?
Well, I like that you use the farmer, philosophy. So when you sow a seed, you can't just walk away and think it's gonna grow into a tree. You gotta put some water on that. You gotta make sure there's no bugs coming trying to take your harvest, and you also gotta make sure it has proper sunlight that gives it the nutrients. And all of those things, if you relate it over to faith, it's the like I said, prayer, staying prayed up, surrounding yourself with those people that's gonna help you along the way, but also making sure those you connect with are in line with that mindset. One of the things we do at this company, our company pays tithe.
My God. Oh, you talking now? You heard it.
I almost put his phone. I'm sorry, I'm getting stirred. Go ahead.
How can you not? That's what God. That's God. All of it is His. He just gives it to us to be.
That's it.
Yeah.
And so why not make sure that you give Him what's rightfully His and acknowledge, like, Lord, I thank you because you led this and you're gonna continue to lead it, no matter what it looks like.
And I'll just add, we spoke that at our last, I think it was sales meeting, or maybe it was
A training.
and that's every business.
Yeah.
YouTube, that's every single business. So we have business, Radiant Real Estate Services, but we have additional branches of income. So that means every business that sows money, we have to sow it back.
Yes, sir. Okay, so I learned something a long time ago when I was watching a sermon that my brother said to me. They say so. Prosperity takes planning, which I wasn't planning. Prosperity takes partnering, which I was partnering. But it also takes pruning. Sometimes things that are hurting the harvest or hurting the soil has to be pruned off. Tell us about the pruning. Because you got to go through the process. They have to understand how, because there's things that
for sure.
One of the things that we include in our prayers is that the Lord allows us to be good stewards of the business. Be good stewards of the business. So, in that prayer, I'm believing that Jesus intercedes to allow us to see what we need to see. Because a lot of times you'll bring people to your business, maybe, admin, maybe support staff, whatever it is. Even, sometimes it can be a partnership for those of you who have those. However, praying that God allows you to be a good steward of the business also allows him to lead you and give you the spirit of discernment too.
Yes, okay.
And so when those times come, you go to him, you pray, you seek his face, and just allow him to lead you and guide you in those conversations. We've had, those times where we've had to maybe let somebody go as we bring on others. And it's all about just staying in the mindset of, Lord, lead me and guide me. If you ask him to lead you and guide you and you believe that he's going to do it, then he's going to do it.
Yes, he will.
Yeah. And it's about, it's not a personal thing as far as, letting somebody go. You got to make sure, yes, we are faith-based. We do believe and follow his guidance.
Yes.
We also are business women. We're business owners. We're entrepreneurs. We handle business the way we need to handle it. So when you have those times where you come to a point or a juncture where you got to, terminate someone or let somebody go, you do so with grace seasoned on your tongue. Making sure that you're not being mean. If you see somebody that used to work here, that's okay. Hey, how you doing? You talk to them, because you never know what 5 years later is going to look like. And I have been encountering those folks from 5 years ago that I may have had to separate with. But hey, they're like, hey, D. And I'm saying, hey, and it's okay.
That's what's up.
I mean, there's a season for everything.
Yeah.
So, and that includes the pruning season.
Yeah.
Just like the harvest, he'll give you what you need for that. He'll give you what you need for the prosperous season. He'll also give you what you need for the pruning season.
That's good. Good.
Okay, so you touched on thriving, pruning, and you talked on partnering. What else is there to actually making the foundation for this?
If I could, I think the foundation is perfect. I think what maybe our viewers want to know is, how did you start? Did you make sure that, how did you make sure that you was going to let God be the head of this? Because I know we have entrepreneurs on here. I know that we have people that want to do things, but how society and how the world tells us is that you put your faith on the back burner. You put your faith later on. We will worry about that after we get to the bag. How did you make a conscious decision of, no, I'm letting God lead this. He's going to be the head. I'm not waiting until I get all the money that I want until I include him. How did you make that conscious effort of, in your entrepreneurial journey, he has to be first?
I believe it started with the name. Making sure the name was rooted in his word. Because if every day I got to say the word radiant, and when I say that and I hear that, I'm thinking of his light shining on me. I'm thinking of me looking to him. Because it's a dualness to that scripture.
Yes.
It say those who look to him are covered and not ashamed. His light is shining on him. So I think about that. But also keeping focused. Keeping focused. Distractions are going to come. That's what any business. Correct. They just will. Because we're walking in this life. Okay. And when those distractions come, just making sure that you get back on track if you get off track. Because distractions can come in many ways in business. It can come in maybe the finances not looking right. And let me can I take a little side roll?
Tell us.
Your business should sustain itself. So I'm retired from the Army. I get retirement pay from the Army. I get disability from the Army. But that money don't run Radiant. It don't allow Radiant to operate. Radiant's income allows Radiant to operate. So as business owners, I feel like God has really been putting it on my heart a lot to see, when I'm talking to folks to share that, just make sure that your business can sustain itself.
Okay.
And it may look a lot like maybe you don't have the most high tech. Maybe you don't have a brick and mortar space, but you have what you need to get where you need to go. So just take that tidbit. Your business needs to sustain itself.
Right. I got a question.
Yeah.
How often do y'all meet? Have meetings with you and the whole crew and everything? Because I'm pretty sure y'all do Bible study when y'all meet, or y'all talk about the word when y'all do meet. I'm just asking. But how often do y'all meet just to make sure that we're all still on the same page, still on the same goal, we're still moving on His word, not ours? So how often do y'all meet?
So one of our previous team members asked when we became a brokerage, she asked, well, how's this company different than when we were a team? So as a team, we met that way. Okay, we're going to focus it. Here's your, we even did a fast together. We did those things. However, now as a company, while we do have individual agents who this is their business, they're individual agents under this company. We meet once a month as far as a sales meeting, and then we meet twice a month for team agent trainings.
Okay.
During those meetings, we have prayer. If it's ever laid on my heart to go, kind of venture off into something deeper, we do. But we don't necessarily, okay, come on, let's make sure we're spiritually aligned. Because this isn't a team anymore, it's a brokerage.
Okay.
However, I do say God has been so good in allowing me to have one-on-ones with each agent. So in those one-on-ones, He'll show what needs to be tapped into. And we're able to do it that way. Or so, now it's individual type of thing. Let's kumbaya, sit around and talk.
Gotcha.
Well, I'm gonna take just a little detour.
Okay.
Just real quick, but I do believe even outside of business that you can still cultivate a relationship with people, because you can be able to work with them on and off the field. So do y'all ever have like team meetings outside? Y'all ever go out, venture, have stuff like that too? Because you can build a relationship in and out of the relationship as well.
I think my brother means like more of an outreach. Like trying to reach out to, people that might want to inspire to be or something like that, to that type of line. Do y'all do that? You do?
I was gonna say, it's great that you asked that question, because we do have an event that's coming up. And you can speak a little bit more about
Listen,
it.
you do listen.
However, that is the outreach. So it's not just for agents. You can come on as a business owner, and that will show you how to, whatever it is, build networking. Lost my train of thought. Build networking, building your generational wealth, building tools and tactics for propelling your business forward, and resources. So, and I imagine that there may be different times or different locations for that event. However, that's more so, I think, what we're tracking and where we're moving and heading. That's what we do more of.
We're very out and about in the community. We just love to be out in the community. And the reason is because when you attain a certain level of success, you got to remember where you came from.
Yes.
And you got to reach back and pull others along with you as well. That's truly one of the biggest reasons I even started a team. It's because I didn't want to have, success and knowledge just to myself. What good is it?
Can't do nothing.
You ain't sharing it with nobody.
Store it up for no good.
Yeah, so we do a lot in the community. We partner with a lot of initiatives that are out there, whether it's just us showing up or giving back. But one year we gave away a car, and
Blessings.
I've been
That's what's
praying
up.
ever since then that we can give away a house.
Listen.
Listen.
Trying to bless
Come on now.
Trying to mess somebody up out there. Trying to mess them up.
She could have a whole bunch of rewards. I'm trying to tell you.
So I continue to speak that because I know that the power of life and death
It's
is
in
in our
Yes,
tongue.
yes.
So the Lord will allow for us
And
to
He
give
will.
away.
It is so.
Yes.
Amen.
Damn. I'm sorry.
I'm talking good.
I'm sorry. I think one question I do want to ask: is there anybody in Scripture business model that you kind of followed after, or did God divinely give you the business model that He wanted for you to follow?
I believe He gave the business model that He wanted me to follow. Now, I was in the military, like I told you, and what I did a lot of business building. A lot of people don't know the military is a business.
Yeah.
It is, you know. I did a lot of development of their processes. Then I got my MBA, so I have a Master's of Business Administration. And so coupling those and just how I wanted to, you know, make sure that I could connect with people. It was difficult transitioning, you know, being that rigid soldier and then you get out and now you're in a professional setting. That was difficult transitioning. However, He allowed me to see, now, daughter, this is what I want you to do. This is how I want you to lay it out.
Just
So you did say that y'all do outreaching and everything like this, but then also you said, and it's a great point, you two, that she pointed this out, that you don't want to just keep it all to yourself, like gatekeeping. Now, you know that a lot of people, when they start businesses or they become an entrepreneur or something like that and it grows and it's prosperous, they begin to harden their hearts and keep that gatekeeping type of mindset.
Yeah.
And then they don't want to bless other people.
Yeah.
Have y'all run into people like that wants to kind of like partner but then kind of like don't want to really, you know, want to bless the people and give back?
And how do you protect yourself?
Oh, yeah. Another question, yes.
I have, but God is always gonna make a way.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
it was actually, I think this week we sent an email request to someone who was a part of an event to give us the point of contact for that event, so we can get on the list. And it's like, well, y'all real estate, this is X, Y, Z. I don't really see how it can connect. Does that make sense? And we like, oh, okay. So let's go and find this because the Lord gonna provide. I did a quick Google search. He showed me a picture of somebody I actually personally know. Got on the phone. Now we on the list. So and that was like same day. So it's nothing that what God has for you is for you. That doesn't always mean that it's going to happen at that time that you think it should. And when I pray, I like to ask the Lord and thank Him for the time, the day, the very hour, like this minute, this second. I thank you for it because it wasn't promised to me, you know.
Yeah.
But He allowed us to be here.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's for you is it's for you. You don't have to steal no one else's initiative, their ideas. You gonna have your own ideas. You just have to ask God, what do you have for me? What do you want me to do? If you've given me a heart of business, you know, some of us are out here, we're hungry and we say, we want to own our own business. We want to thrive in our own business. Lord, I know you gave me this desire.
Yeah.
You have to say, okay, well, what is the how?
Yeah.
You know, where's the how? How do I attain it?
That's good. That's good.
And Taylor is a multiple business. She's a serial entrepreneur, by the way.
I can tell.
Yeah, I can tell.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I've heard it said, and it stuck with me since. I was watching a sermon. I can't remember who it was. But to be a conduit of blessings and not a cul-de-sac. Right? Because you get stuck in the cul-de-sac. Yeah, you can turn around, but you got to figure out another way to get there. And honestly, once you're in that cul-de-sac, that's your blessings get stuck in that cul-de-sac versus being a conduit, letting it flow all the way through in every avenue. So
you recently updated the name of your email. What is it now?
I did.
Yeah, I saw it yesterday. I was like, oh,
what was it? Called to serve, trusted to steward.
come on.
Yes, sir. That's good. That's talking. That's good.
My God, I'm sorry. I am blown away by how much of you guys using biblical practices and letting the Lord lead you, how He has blessed you. I'm sorry, this has blessed me and it blown me away. So it's dope.
YouTube, Sean said he is very grateful to this very moment right now. Very grateful.
YouTube, this has been a wonderful episode. Thank y'all for inviting us here today. Coming out to Columbus, Georgia. The episode will be up. There will be tags. Social media is down in the description below. Go check out Radiant Real Estate Services. Many reasons. We out.